to you by offshoreinsiders.com. We have investors with my company that have been in this business since 1980 on the score phones, and I've been doing it since 1988 full-time, 1986 I started part-time. Never seen anything like it. Literally the master lock line on the single greatest start of any entity in any sport ever in the history of gambling. That's not even open to debate, and that's in college basketball. Meanwhile, Stevie Vincent, who is the only person in the history of the industry who might have been better in NBA handicapping, is Kurt Thomas, and Stevie Vincent is off to a ridiculous run in the NBA, and Joe Duffy's picks, we're doing what we've been doing for 30-something years. Nice 2021, despite that loss in overtime last night, an over game or an under game going over. But why don't you see at offshoreinsiders.com, we link to why that's okay. I mean, that's okay. It's just part of doing business, so to speak. All right, we're going to have a free pick coming up in just a moment. But why don't we take a look at we'll take a look at who are the best teams in the NBA to have been betting on this year. And again, it's based on margin of cover. Now, this is kind of a we report, you decide. Remember, NBA is a big regression in the mean sport. So for the most part, the teams that have been the best so far to bet on become go against plays, and the worst teams become good teams to bet on. But Phoenix is 5-2 this year by a league-leading 7.5 points per game margin of cover. New York is 4-3, as is Atlanta and the Lakers. All three of those teams are 4-3. New York covering by an average of 6.4 points per game, Atlanta by 4.4, and the Lakers by 4 points per game. Who have been the best teams to fade this year in terms of margin of cover? Minnesota is 2-4, failing to cover by an average of 7.6 points per game. Toronto 1-5 by 7.6 points per game. They're failing. Portland 2-4, minus 4.1 points per game. Now let's get to your free winner. And by the way, another way to support our podcast, let's just say you gamble on your own. You're not going to pay for picks. I understand it. And maybe you don't use an offshore sports book. Another way to show your support, please visit either Duffy Cents or DuffyGifts.com. We even give you a free pick. See offshoreinsiders.com for details. We'll give you a free premium pick if you do make a purchase at one of those sites. All right, free pick. Utah, minus the 5 against Brooklyn. Road favorites that shoot substantially more three-pointers than the league average, 13-12, 10-68, and 54. Now, I'll be the first to admit the explanation isn't as obvious as many of our systems, where, again, many of our systems literally fall into measuring when teams are going to be overvalued and undervalued. But one can see how a superior team, and obviously when you're talking about a road favorite to the better team, though in this case it's because of the Durant quarantine, so the team that Utah is expected to put on the court tonight is better than the team that Brooklyn is expected to put on the court. But anyway, when you see a mismatch and one team shoots a lot of three-pointers, you can see how that's going to make it kind of wide open, maybe literally and figuratively, for the superior team to win in a blowout. Still, at the end of the day, one of the things that we found that you could make a strong argument that some of the systems that don't have an obvious explanation are the ones that are going to sneak under the radar. And when we have one that is more than, not quite 300, what's that, about 260 games above 500, whatever. When you're talking about well above 200 games above 500, why ask why? And again, I know about the, statistics and the whole lottery type thing where eventually you run enough things that maybe you'll find something that's kind of an aberration, an outlier. But as I said, I think when something like this, it's not like you can come up with an obvious, unequivocal explanation as to why it works. It's perfectly acceptable because, again, sometimes it will sneak under the radar. And then, again, as we always said, the NBA, frankly, is the one and only sport where road favorites do extremely well. All right, you like this free information? Please help us out. Tell the search engines that you like us and they should feature us more. How can you do that? Give us a like if you're watching on YouTube, or a heart on Periscope. And I know they're going to switch over to just Twitter or whatever, on iTunes or Stitcher. Give us a 5-star rating, a 5-star review, a comment, etc. It's your way of telling us you want more information like this. So, you help us out a little bit. We will be happy to give you free, even premium picks each and every day. So we appreciate it, but most importantly, visit offshoreinsiders.com for the best sports picks, vetted sports books, and a whole lot more. And there's other ways, as I said, that you can support us. It's even linked to on the site. My wife's got a couple of businesses, Duffy Gifts and Duffy Cents. And by the way, those Duffy Cents, I frankly love the stuff. Duffy Cents, it's as in SCENTS. They don't bill themselves. She's a Scentsy distributor. They don't bill themselves as what do they call them, aromatherapy. But I can tell you, in my office, it just relaxes me, and it's been a very stressful time for all of us. Some of those scents really relax me, and I tried to remember, I don't know, somewhere along the way, I had the wife reminded me what my favorite scents are. Vanilla buttercream, cinnamon bear, and right now I'm still heating up the apple and oats, which is really cool, very relaxing. But anyway, bunch of ways to support us. Please visit offshoreinsiders.com for all the details.